Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you again for the honorable album mentions of 2018 video. So I'm gonna go through this each 1 through 10 and let you know which albums were on the list or whatever. So let's hop into this. The number one is Black Eyed Peas Masters of the Sun Volume 1. Although this album was pretty good for the most part. I like tracks like Constant, um, Yes or No, which Yes or No was a little bit repetitive with its chorus, but it still did a good job. The opener track was pretty good. And yeah, this made it at my number one. It had a lot of good songs to offer, and they kind of went a little direct to the viewer. Like, they were trying to be very direct and, like, kind of the get up in your face rap kind of uh, album it is. But it was a good album. And it made it at my number one. Number two is LMA, self titled album LMA. This one had Boot Up in it, it had Trip, it had Whatchamacallit with Chris Brown in it. And those tracks were great singles, but the whole album was it was honorable. It's an honorable album to put in my honorable album list. And I did enjoy it for the most part, and it made it at my number two. Number three is Chevelle, 12 Bloody Spies. This one was a great record. It was great lyrically with each song. They're old tracks mashed into one compilation album, but they did very good. And they did very well putting these songs together into one compilation album. Chevelle did. They did an excellent job mashing this record up and putting it together. So I thought it'd be a new album, 12 Bloody Spies, but it's for their old tracks, but they delivered swiftly. And it made it at my number three for the honorable album mentions of 2018. At number four is Thrice Palms. This one was a great record. After repeated listens over and over, it kind of has its annoying spots with My Soul. I think that was my least favorite track on the record, but the other tracks did very good, and they got 5 out of 5s, but I think my favorite songs on there were Only Us, The Dark, Everything Belongs is my favorite one, and Beyond the Pines was a good closer. And this thing made it at my number four. This record did. Number five is Owl City Cinematic. Yeah, I know you're gonna say that this is the worst choice to put as an honorable album. The only reason why it's an honorable album is because it did a step up. It stepped up its plate, and some of the songs were underperformed, but they were decent songs. I think the cinematic track was my favorite track from this record. But the majority of these songs were kind of crappy and very shitty, but it did well to entertain most of us, so I guess it succeeded its expectations. But it's not an album to be commending too much, but it's an honorable album, I guess. So it made it at my number 5. Number 6 is Pusha T Daytona. This one was only like 7 tracks, and I was kind of disappointed with that, but those 7 tracks were really worth the listen to. It was worth the listen. This record did very good. If You Know, You Know was a great song. The one with Kanye West in it, I don't know the track, but you might have to put it on the comments below and just to remind me what the track name was, but that song sucked. It only sucked because Kanye West was in that track. And I am not a Kanye West fan, so not anymore. But the Pusha T record was pretty good, and it made it at my number 6. Number 7 is Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy. This one was hands-on a pretty good record. Yeah, some of the mumble rapping in this was a little annoying, but I actually prefer her more than Nicki Minaj, because I don't know, it's just like she has that kind of attention grabber to grab your attention and want to listen through this record. So I'll commend her for making a pretty good album. And this made it at my number 7. Number 8 is Ariana Grande, Sweetener. This was gonna make it at my decent to good albums of 2018, but it got knocked off the list because there was something else that beat it better than that. But overall, this was a hands-on, a good record. Wasn't the best, but it was a good, honorable record to listen through. The Light Is Coming was my favorite one. Breathing was not a bad one. After that, you got God Is a Woman and No Tears Left to Cry. Those were great singles. But The Light Is Coming's got to be my favorite one. Even though Nicki Minaj is in it, it doesn't matter. This song was really good. And this album made it at my number 8. Number 9 is Greta Van Fleet, Anthem of the Peaceful Army. This was an honorable record. And definitely hands down one of my favorites. I think it was their best debut. In my opinion, I think it was. Everyone else probably will disagree with me, or some people will, but that's their opinion. But hands down, this record did very good to meet some of the viewers' expectations. If you like slow jam kind of songs, then you'll like this record. If you don't, then it's not for you. But it made it at my number 9, and I really appreciate them doing this record. They did a good job on it. And finally, at number 10 is Architects, Holy Hell. This album had a lot of screams with Sam Carter's voice in it. So many screams in this record. But it pretty much made its point by screaming a lot. But I think Doomsday was my favorite on this. I like the pre-chorus breakdown right there. Oh, I can't remember the line for it, but it was really good. It was hands down a great breakdown of a pre-chorus. And Royal Beggars was my next favorite, and many more. Death Is Not Defeat was good. Hereafter was a good one too. But yeah, Architects Holy Hell made it at my number 10. That is going to be it for the honorable album mentions of 2018. Comment below, let me know your honorable album mentions of 2018 that you thought was your favorites or whatever. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to. I will be returning to you tomorrow for the top 20 bad movies of 2018. So, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.